Hey guys, and welcome to another video in this Python programming tutorial for beginners. In this video we're going to talk about modules and imports in Python, and I'll show you some different kind of examples of what module is and how we can create our own module in a separate file, and then we can import it, like if, for example, a math library, as I'll show in the Jupyter notebook later. But then we can have different kind of libraries or packages that we can import from other files, and then we can import it and use it in our own file. I'll also show you how to do an pivot installation of OpenCV, which is just a computer vision, like an open source computer vision package that we're going to use in later videos. So this is kind of an introduction to it, and also so I can just show you how to install the package and import it in Python. So let's jump into the notebook and look at it. We're now back in the Jupyter notebook, and in this video we're talking about modules and imports in Python. And in the first example here, I'll just give you some kind of overview over what module is in Python. And a module is like, it can either be user defined or it could be a built-in module, like I'll show you in a couple in one of the next videos, where we have the built-in standard library for Python, and then we can import different modules from the built-in libraries. And then we can also like have a user defined module, which we will create in this video, but also in later videos, where we can define our own functions and attributes and stuff like that, and then we can import them into the Jupyter notebook here. And so that's just to like give you an overview over what module is in Python and what type it can be. So to create or use a module, we just call the keyword here import, and then the module we want to import. So in this case we're going to import the math library, which is just a library that I created myself. So if you go into that library, I've created a Python script here, just the original Python script, where it's a math library, and I've defined a function here called add. So we define a function called add, which takes the two parameters, not the first number and the second number, and then the result will just be the two numbers added together. We print out the sum and return it. We're also going to use like this dictionary, and so I can show you how to import dictionaries from other Python scripts, and also just going to show you how to import like every data type or yeah, just anything you want to import. You can import it import a module into the Jupyter notebook. So this is the math library I've created, and it's important that it is in the same directory as the Jupyter notebook that we're working in. So it needs to be in the same directory to import it into the Jupyter notebook here. So I import the math library I created, and we know that we're going to add two numbers where we use the add function from the math library. So we call like the result is equal to the math library module here, dot to get a function, and the function is add, and then we add 2 and 3. So if we try to hit shift enter here, it will print out the sum 5, which is indeed 3 plus 2, it's equal to 5. So that's how we like use a module and import it. But we can also like specify different parts from a module. If you have, for example, a very huge module or a library package, like there can be like thousands or hundreds of functions, and we only want to like use one or two of the functions, then we can call the keyword from math library import add. So in this case we're only importing the add function from the math library, and if we just print this out again, we get the same we get the result where we add the 2 plus 6, which is indeed 8. So we can also like just import specific parts from a module, so we don't have to import everything. And variables in module, like we can also import variables from a module. So for example here we have the plus sign. I'll just go back to the library again. I created a dictionary here with different kind of operators, and then we have like the keyword plus and minus and divide, and then the operator signs over out here. So to import this in the Jupyter notebook, we go in here, and then we can say that the plus sign is equal to the math library module that we imported dot the operators, and then we can just choose we want the plus operator from that dictionary. And if we print this out, we'll indeed get the plus operator is equal to is like this operator symbol. And again, we can also do the same with the other data types, where we had some strings in here, and we can import every data type from a module to our Jupyter notebook here, or any other Python script. So in this case, we're just saying that channel is equal to this module math library.the_channel. So we will get the string channel. And if we print this out, indeed the coding library was the string we defined in here as channel. So that's how we import every data type. We can also like use numbers and import numbers from different kind of data types and stuff like that into our module. It's also important, like the third example here is how to name a module, because in some scenarios it might be long if we have to type the math library every time we need to call a function or get a data type or something else we have defined in our module. Then we can import our library as just ML, or in some other cases where we have, for example, OpenCV for computer vision, like then we just import it as CV2. So we're just like to get a short notation and we can type it faster, or if we have to like type it many times in our program, it's a bit easier. So in this case, we're just taking the same example as before, where we have our plus sign, but instead of writing out math library, we just type ml.operators and we get the plus sign. And we get the same result as before, but in a short notation. In the fourth example here, we can also like use the built-in modules from Python, and one of them is just the math library or module, as you would say. So we import the math module here, which is a built-in module in Python, and then we can take the factorial, which is just like this library math.factorial of 3. And if we print out the result, it is indeed 6, because we take like 1 plus 2 plus 3, so it will be 6. And we can also use, like, this is just another example of some functions that is already built in this module, so we can take the square root of a number as well. And there's many other different functions in the math library, and there's tons of built-in modules for Python, so you can go look it up on Google, and we're going to use a lot of the built-in modules as well in later videos, so you can check that out, or you can just Google the built-in modules, or also just the functions in Python. So the last example here is how to install modules and packages, and this is more like an introduction to later videos where we're going to use a lot more modules and packages, where we import modules and use them. For example, here we import the OpenCV library or module. Now we can use that to like open up video files or a webcam, and we can use it to like do face detection or some other kinds of object detection. So in this case, we're just like calling an image here, which is like we say that the image is equal to OpenCV.imRead, where we just read in a picture from our directory, which is the logo here. And then we can show the picture with this command where we have this cv2.imShow, and we give it a headline and then the image we want to show. And then down here we just have like different conditions where if we hit the escape key, we exit the program, or if we hit the S key, we will save the image to our directory. So if I just hit Shift Enter, it will open up the program or the picture down here, and we can see that we show the logo here. And if I hit Escape, it will quit. But if I hit S, it will save the picture. So I'll just hit S here, and it will destroy all windows again. So it will close the picture. And then it will save the picture in our directory again, and I saved it as the logo new.png. So if we open up this up, we indeed see that it has saved the logo here, which is kind of nice, and it's just more like an introduction to what modules and packages are capable of when we're importing them and just like using them. So it simplifies the code a lot more, and it also gives a better overview. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. We've talked about modules and imports in Python, and they're really important when we're going to like do more complex things within artificial intelligence, computer vision, and also machine learning. So thank you guys for watching this video, and remember to hit the subscribe button and bell notification under the video, and also like this video to show the YouTube algorithm that you want more of this content and that you like it. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.